Not everybody likes semicolons. Kurt Vonnegut doesn't like them. Here's what he says. Here's a lesson in creative writing. First rule, do not use semicolons. They are transvestite hermaphrodites representing absolutely nothing. All they do is show you've been to college. But we'd like to know how to use them correctly, so in spite of what Kurt Vonnegut says, let's take a look. Okay, here's semicolon usage. You can see it started with very little usage down here, went up, kind of peaked in 1800, now it's back falling off like that. So maybe Kurt Vonnegut's right, not everybody likes them either. Okay, semicolon, most common usages. Connect two independent clauses. Second, separate lists containing commas or other punctuation marks. This is kind of for clarification. This is to connect two independent clauses that are a little more closely related than they would be if you used a period. Now within this, you have to make sure they're not joined by coordinating conjunctions like and, but, for, nor, or, yet. But they can be linked by a conjunctive adverb such as however, therefore, or in fact, for example. So let's take a look. Okay, in the dictionary, definition for semicolon, a mark of punctuation used to connect independent clauses and indicating a closer relationship between clauses than a period does. Connecting independent clauses, okay, I'll give you one from mathematics since that's my field. Our equation has three solutions, semicolon. One solution is real and the other two are complex. So it's a little more, those two clauses are a little more closely related than they would be if I just made two periods, because this sort of talks about a specific example of this. Okay, connecting independent clauses, our solution satisfies both equations. Therefore, so I can use that connecting word, it is a solution to our system of equations. Okay, here's one from Fibonacci's Book of Squares, a misuse of the semicolon. I have come to request indulgence if in any place it contains something more or less than right or necessary, semicolon, for, there's a word you're not supposed to use, to remember everything and be mistaken in nothing is divine rather than human, and so on. Fibonacci here is talking about why he wrote the book and asking that people be a little forgiving if they happen to find a mistake in the book somewhere. But in any case, it's a misuse of the semicolon because of the word for right after the semicolon. Well, look, Fibonacci writes his book in the year 1250. He doesn't write it in English. It could be that it was a translation problem or that he didn't write it in this way. There was no semicolon at that time. So give him a break. Separating items in a list. Okay, I could say my grandchildren's birthdays are January 2nd, 2005, semicolon, March 24th, 2007, semicolon, and April 2nd, 2009. Okay, using the semicolon there makes this a little more clear than it would be if I just used commas everywhere. Okay, another one from mathematics. To use the quadratic formula, we must make sure that the equation is in standard form, semicolon, identify A, B, and C, semicolon, substitute them into the formula, and work out the arithmetic. So it's a little more clear the meaning of this sentence if I use the semicolon. Okay, here's one from John Kabat-Zinn. Meditation may help us see that this path we call our life has direction, semicolon, that it is always unfolding moment by moment, semicolon, and that what happens now in this moment influences what happens next. Nice use of the semicolon right there. I think it makes kind of a long, sort of complicated thought in this sentence a little more clear. So there's some look at the most common uses for the semicolon.